Hi guys, James Reid from ABT here again, and I'm here with the 2019 Sufix BASS Pro boating champion, Jake Schwerin. How are you, Jake?
Oh, ecstatic now.
I bet it's going to take you a couple of days to come down from this.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I'll be at Somerset for a while, let's put it like that.
Give it a bit of a rest because it can only go downhill from here.
Yeah, definitely with that wind, it was not pleasant fishing.
All right, so give us a little rundown on your pre-fish for Friday.
So, pre-fish Friday, I got out here early, as I had to get out of work, which was good. And sort of knew where I wanted to fish, but wasn't quite sure whether they'd still be there. I've been keeping an eye over them since Cania, and just drove over them once just to try and keep everyone sort of that was watching, just keep it simple. Drove over them, saw them there, and just went, you know what, I'm just not going to touch them for once. And I just turned away, and I was stressing out big time going, geez, I didn't catch a fish in pre-fish. I went, I wonder if they're actually going to bite, and paid off. So.
All right, so there's your rundown of your pre-fish. You didn't catch a fish, and they usually say bad pre-fish, good tournament. It definitely worked.
Yeah, it did work this time, yeah.
Now, anyway, give us a rundown on how you caught those fish and where you were.
So on the Saturday, I was just in the timber, not far into the timber. I found a flat just off the creek bed and into the creek bed, and like I said, I've been watching it over about a month, and I just found that there's fish all through this Kirkley, but no boats going there, so it means sort of no pressure, and I think that was a fair key just to get a bit of space to yourself, and yeah, it seemed to work really well.
Okay, and how did you do that? Just give the guys and viewers watching this an idea on the technique that you were using to catch that cracking 8.79 kilo bag on day one.
So I was just using plastics. I was using Smack Jig Ed 5.8 and OSP HP tail shads in the 3.1 inch. And it was just the first day they were pretty active, cast out, just try and keep it as close as you could to the bottom. And when you felt that you were a bit far off, just drop it back. Sometimes they reacted to the drop back, sometimes they didn't, but yeah, just trying to keep it as close to the bottom as you can, and yeah, big long casts with the wind. They just picked it up, kept tapping at it, and you sort of just had to let them have it. If you struck, they'd leave. You just had to give it to them, and they'd suck it in, and yeah, it worked excellent on day one. Just went crazy.
Okay, and on that day one, you're out there with also the non-boating winner of this weekend, Bronson Tilly. How did he hold a rod for the day? Did he hold his own?
Yeah, Bronson, he went pretty good. I pretty much gave him what he needed. He didn't have it, but yeah, I just told him that the old school plastics that work, I just said, we'll just see what happens, you try one, I'll try another, we'll switch colours and see whether one's better or one's worse. And he used the other thing, and yeah, I think he got big bass. Oh, he had big bass for a while, and yeah, he held his own there pretty well, so it was good, yeah.
For a young fella that usually fishes salty, he did quite well for catching some bass.
Yeah, I think he might be converted after this weekend.
It's all about the fresh. All right, there's your day one rundown. Give us a rundown on day two, your non-boater that you went out with today, and what you did to get your 5.95, was it?
Yeah.
5.
So today I was fishing with John Deere and Tom Deere. John Deere. No, Same thing. I just went up there, and it's hard to tell whether they're going to bite or not on the second day. You sort of just got to slog it out. Got up there, and nobody else come up other than the other person that was there, and we just fished away. I got to fish pretty well straight up, and I was like, oh, this is either a good or a bad thing. And then it was a grind. We sort of just, you get a bite every hour, or for that first bit. And I was just going, it's not like tomorrow, it's not like yesterday, but then we just kept persisting with it, getting that one bite an hour, and it just paid off. They were those decent fish, they weren't the rats, and it really, held up for the 2 days. Luckily, I didn't realise it was so tough everywhere else until I got back in and realised, wow, it was tough.
Well, as it was, you only really needed one fish to take the win today. You had a decent lead for day one. That was great to see that you could hold the win and take it away. Give us a rundown on the gear that you were using for the weekend.
I got a bit of Fishtex gear here, which is my main sponsor, which is awesome. I was just using the OSP HP shad tail in the 3.1 inch. That's colour 139. It's just a real natural colour. And as a lot of people know, barra and all that sort of fish, they love a bit of that action on the tail, so I do a bit of chartreuse dip. The smack jig head in the 5/8, it was just, if there was a heavier one, I'd use it. Using 10-pound leader, I don't like to go any lighter than that, and that's Toray. I don't go any lighter because there's some big fish in here and they tear that up. Also using the F4 braid, Toray F4 braid in the 0.8, which is really fine but super strong. Didn't have a problem with it all weekend until I busted a snag off and didn't have enough line. But yeah, and the Edge rod 703, it's just that one rod that I've been using for everything all year. It's just one of the best all-round rods I've ever used. And the Stee's just a real sort of slow ratio reel, just to try and keep you down in that zone as long as you can without doing anything erratic. So worked really well as a big combo.
Awesome. So there you have it. There's a nice rundown of how Jake Schwerin caught his fish on day 1 and day 2. Before we wrap this interview up, is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to thank both of my boaters for the day. It was a great day. We had heaps of enjoyment, a few laughs, and we caught fish. Fish Tech Solutions, they've got some awesome gear. All the stuff that I use now, I've just been fully converted. They're just sick. My parents, my dad for letting me borrow his boat again, my partner and my mum for coming down today to see it all happen, and yeah, all ABT. It was a great weekend, minus the wind.
Well, that's it. It was a very, very windy weekend, and typical, it's starting to drop now.
Yeah, I reckon if you go out now, you'd probably have a pretty good session.
Awesome. Well, I'm James Reed, signing out from ABT from Somerset Dam of the 2019 Sufix BASS Pro Series. This round was brought to you by Ecogear. A big thank you to all the competitors this weekend. See you next time from Richmond River.